Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Emily Barclay, a body positivity personal trainer, dog walker, and founder of the Perimenopause Hub, an online platform dedicated to supporting women through one of the most misunderstood and under-discussed stages of life. Emily created the Perimenopause Hub to help women make sense of the physical, emotional, and mental changes that can occur before menopause, a time when hormones fluctuate dramatically and symptoms often feel overwhelming or confusing. Through education, reassurance, and community, Emily helps women understand that they're not going crazy. They're navigating a natural transition that deserves more awareness, support, and compassion. Emily, a very, very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lovely conversation. We have a lot to dive into. Before we do, I do like to start with your background, though. So before the Perimenopause Hub, can you tell us what were you doing previously and what was really your inspiration for getting into this space?
Okay, so what I was doing previously, name a job I probably haven't done through the years is easier. So along the way, I've worked in ski resorts at a ski school. I've been a wine merchant. I have worked for the NHS doing data-y stuff. Don't really know what I did. I've worked for a charity. I've done lots of things. I'm one of these people that sort of jumps as soon as I'm bored. I go and find the next thing. It's a good and bad thing, but anyway, there we go. Anyway, the reason the Perimenopause Hub came about is because of my personal experience of perimenopause, which is often how these things come about, isn't it? It's often because somebody has struggled and so they find a way, to help other people not struggle. So I started getting perimenopause symptoms when I was 39, which means I was too young in inverted commas. Certainly here in the UK, the guidelines state that in women aged 45 and over, anything to do with menopause should be diagnosed is not really the right word, but I'll use it for the purposes of this, based on symptoms, and that blood tests aren't needed. And it actually says nothing about people younger than that, but that gets interpreted to understood that it can't possibly be happening in anybody under 45, which I find slightly frustrating, as you may tell from the tone of my voice. Anyway, so I was 39 and struggling with crazy levels of fatigue, like a level of fatigue I've never experienced. I had been training for Ironman triathlons, so I was the fittest I've been. I was doing all the things that I thought you're meant to do, and then got hit by this crazy level of fatigue alongside just a stress response that disappeared. So anything, just the slightest thing would tip me over the edge, as though it was the most monumental, stressful thing I'd ever encountered. And it was a really scary time because I had no idea what was possibly happening. Then there came the rage. That was fun. It wasn't. My poor partner, bless him, he was didn't go well. He is still here. It's all fine. And then there was the tears, and then there was the insomnia, and then there was the weight gain, and just all these things just made no sense to me. Like, what on earth was happening? And it took 3.5 years of going back and forth to the doctor and 13 doctor visits. I have to say at this point, I'm very glad I live in a country where we have free healthcare, because that would have been tricky. Anyway, on doctor visit number 13, by this point, I had tracked everything that was going on, and I'd pulled down all the data and played around with it in Excel because I'm that person. And it was really obvious that it was hormonal. So I went to that last doctor's appointment, and we both agreed that because it was obviously hormonal, it was perimenopause. So by this point, I was 42, and I came home from that appointment honestly feeling like a weight had lifted because I knew what it was. It was just a hormonal transition. Let's call it puberty part 2. I survived puberty. I'm like, okay, I can probably deal with this, What I did in puberty was dye my hair stupid colours and wear clothes that I found really comfortable. people listening to just the audio, my hair is currently turquoise, red, and blue. So apparently, and I'm wearing dungarees or overalls, as you call them in the US, with dinosaurs on. So apparently, I've just gone back to teenage me completely, and I'm very happy there. So I came home from that appointment and thought, right, brilliant. I know what to Google. I know what to find. I know what I'm looking for. Oh, it didn't exist. This was 2019. Menopause wasn't being talked about in 2019. And perimenopause certainly wasn't being talked about in 2019. So I had to create what I needed. And I wanted there to be a combination of peer support and expert advice, because I think one without the other gets lost. So just expert advice can become very dry. Just peer support can become scaremongering and misinformation. So I wanted there to be the two. So I started recruiting experts to get the website together, and that was kind of how it started. So that was May 2019. Started bringing together some experts in the UK, then Canada, then Australia, then the US, then Europe, and now also Dubai. And it's going from strength to strength. And for the community aspect, we have a Facebook group, which now has 162,000 members. And that, in a nutshell, is the backstory to the Peri Hub.
Quite the journey. And I mean, hey, starting an online-based business in 2019, right before everyone's internet usage exploded, not a bad time. We'll definitely dive into the website, but I mean, you did something that a lot of people try to do, but they cannot, which is 160,000 Facebook group members. That is obviously tremendous. How did you go about doing that?
Organic growth.
Wow, all organic.
Honestly. Yeah. So at the very start, invited a few friends who are roughly the same age as me, asked them to invite friends. That kind of snowballed a bit. Mentioned it in a few other Facebook groups, but not in a salesy way, because I hate that. Then just before lockdown, that was a weird time, wasn't it? That March was a funny old time. I had an article on the BBC website. So somebody I used to be at the triathlon club with writes for the BBC Suffolk, part of East of England website. And she was, oh yeah, we'll do an article, blah, blah, blah. Didn't know when it was going to come out. She didn't know when it was going to be published. And then one morning I woke up and my phone was absolutely blowing up with notifications. And I think that article may have gone live. And the group trebled in size that day, that weekend. But I mean, I'm still only talking like sort of 3,500 people at that point by the end of that weekend. And since then it's just grown and grown and grown. And I'm assuming, obviously, I don't think anyone fully understands the Facebook algorithm, but I think because it's very active, we approve something like 300 posts a day. Wow. Facebook recommends it to people.
And it's clearly something that's needed. It's clearly something that women are interested in, right?
Every day we get people joining and saying, oh, thank God you're here. It's not just me.
Wow. You build it, they will come. You build it,
Apparently
they will come. Love it. Okay, that's the Facebook group. Walk us through the website. Someone goes on your website, what are they going to get there? What resources? Walk us through that.
So the website is perimenopaushub.com. I was very glad when that domain name was available, because it meant that everything was easy. And on there, we've got resources, we've got details about all of the experts. So the panel of experts is about 50 people, ranging from nutritionists, doctors, nurses, but also mindset people, fitness people, the whole gamut, so that any woman going through perimenopause can find the help that she wants, that fits with how she likes to manage her health. As opposed to, it's not for me to tell people how they should be managing this transition. It's for me to just provide the resources that can help people find what they need. And then we also have the Vault on the website, which is where the experts have all of their offerings, their sort of evergreen offerings available. So some of those are free, some of those are paid. we have blog posts. We have it's all sorts. It's one of those websites that you can kind of end up down a bit of a rabbit hole on it, should you wish.
That's okay. More time spent on the website. Not an issue. Not an issue for you. Absolutely. Okay. So I mean, you have the great Facebook group. I assume that's driving most of your traffic. Are you putting any efforts elsewhere, or what's the marketing look like?
The Facebook group is where the majority of the stuff happens. We use Insta as well. We've got something like 21,000 followers on Insta, which I could push more, but I kind of don't get around to doing that. We have a YouTube channel, so that's got now 6.5 years worth of recorded interviews with different experts and stuff. So that is also a massive fount of information for people who, if anybody who prefers to kind of absorb information from an interview, informal chat sort of context, then our YouTube channel, again, surprisingly, look up Perimenopause Hub. There is a lot of information on there.
Nice. Yeah, you don't need to do too much when the Facebook algorithm really likes it and you're doing it organically. It's like, why? I don't want to say waste the time, but why spend the time really pushing it elsewhere when it's essentially taken care of for you? So once again, not a bad problem to have. So then I think the big point is, right, traffic's great. I'm going to take a guess here. I'm going to say, all the information for everyone, it's free. No memberships needed. I'm going to take a guess. Maybe are you charging the provider something to be on the website? Walk us kind of through the monetization of the website.
Yes. So I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. No, I'm not. It's fine. So yes, the experts pay a monthly subscription to have access to the audience is the very simple way that we monetize it. And in the new year, there is a plan to start having kind of a discount club. So we are in the process of setting up deals with businesses with products that are in this space, but trusted products, not just something where they've put the word menopause on there because they can, which I'm noticing is happening. So products that we have tried and tested and that we trust, and then we're negotiating discounts and affiliate codes and things. So that's the other aspect of it. So those are the primary two strings. And then very cool. I do some corporate menopause education as well. So some webinars for businesses as well.
Okay. A lot of people need it. That's for sure. So 160,000 in the Facebook group. Do you know how many hits you're getting per month on the website?
I don't currently.
Okay.
If I asked my lovely VA, I'm sure she has that information straight to hand, but I know she's deep in trying to sort out Christmas stuff for her kids, so I'm not going to ask her right now.
Very fair point. Very fair point. I mean, you said, I think 300, you guys approve 300 Facebook posts a day. You mentioned you have a VA. Yeah, walk us through your team, because surely you're not doing this alone.
I was for a while. So obviously I'm the founder. And for the first, 5 years, I did the whole lot on my own, just with a couple of moderators in the Facebook group. But now one of the people who is also one of the experts on the panel, she has come on board to help me behind the scenes to be able to grow it. She has a wealth of business experience that sort of complements but is different to my previous experience, which is brilliant. Then we have Megan, who is the VA, who is literally worth her weight in gold and never needs anything explaining. You just go, can we do this? And she's like, yeah. And it happens. It's brilliant. And then on the Facebook group, we have a moderating team of 22, I think it is at the moment, across various different time zones, so that the group keeps running pretty much all the time. But we have everybody except for the experts on post pre-approved, on post approved. So I don't even know what I'm trying to say. We approve posts for people so that we can weed out ones that are going to go badly, because that is, again, learnt the hard way, that it seems like it's more work, but it isn't, because you're not chasing any of those posts. And I see it in other groups that don't do that let everything in. You take your eye off the ball and it has gone south in a nanosecond. So yeah, we have taken the decision that actually preempt what's going to go badly and just don't let it into the group. Because our
Mm.
primary and most important kind of rule, for want of a better word, in the whole of the Perimenopause Hub community is kindness. Because frankly, people who are feeling really scared, actually, that they don't understand what's going on in their body, need kindness
Mm.
from others and from themselves. And so there are certain types of posts that we can spot that people cannot help but be unkind on. So we just don't let them in because we just don't give the opportunity to be unkind.
Mm.
And it just means that the whole group has a much nicer, more supportive feel for it because we're leading with kindness and we're making sure that other people do.
Yeah. One bad apple can certainly spoil the whole tub, the whole barrel. That's
The
what
whole
it
barrel,
is.
that's it, yeah.
The whole barrel. And it is unfortunate, but negativity, we are drawn to negativity as people. So if someone's
Right.
scrolling through the post, oh, good, good, good. Oh, and then there's that one bad one that snuck through. That's the one that's gonna stick. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
unfortunate. I understand.
people get very keyboard warrior-y. They love it, and we have to be quite on the ball around a full moon.
Oh,
160,000 hormonal women and full moon. Ooh, 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 ooh.
that's like your guys' Black Friday or something like that. Hey, hands
Yeah,
on deck, everybody.
we get 13 of them a year. Brilliant.
Oh, that
Yeah,
I'm sure we could dive into that. I'm sure we might be here for a while. That'd be opening a can of worms, that's for sure.
yeah.
Very
Let
does.
me
Yeah.
just say, we now keep an eye on the lunar calendar. That's all I need to say.
Hey, you've been doing this for just 6 years now.
Six
Six
and a
years
half
now.
now,
So
yeah.
you've learned some lessons. You've learned some
Uh-huh.
lessons.
I didn't spot the pattern for ages, and then somebody went, "Have you thought it might be to do with the moon?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, this could explain why everybody goes crazy at the same time." And it seems to be roughly every kind of 4 weeks. Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh man. You learned a lot. You learned a lot on the
Yep,
entrepreneurial journey. That is for sure. Love it.
100%.
Emily, we touched on it a little bit. We know you have a new offering coming on the website for
Yeah.
2026. Any other goals you've set for yourself in the business you're looking to achieve next year?
I mean, world domination.
Of course. Of
You know.
course. What
Oh, but
else?
actually, no. In all seriousness, um, this probably sounds really cheesy, but actually, just the work-life balance. Um, my partner and I this year moved from the east of England up to northwest Scotland to get a better balance of life work to remove the really big stresses of life. And actually, that's really important to me. So
Hmm.
I now have quite a lot of things in place whereby I am in a position where I can put a lot more of my time, effort, and energy into the hub and grow it and grow it and grow it, or I can take it at its own pace and still have time for me. And I appreciate that that's not the sort of US style sort of hustle, hustle, hustle kind of way of going about things. But yeah, I actually really value my time now. It's one thing I've really learned through previous self-employment. I used to have my own wine business and I worked 80-hour weeks, probably most
Mm,
weeks. And yeah, I don't do that anymore.
good. Good. I totally get it. That is, you're right about the US culture, but as somebody with young kids who understands, hey, I'm only getting this time with them, and in 10
Right.
years, they probably won't want to hang out with me as much. I totally understand. There's a lot more
Right.
to life than work and money and the bigger house and things like that. So I
Yeah,
acknowledge you
and I
there.
think
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot to be said, and it's kind of a message I would love to just get out to people generally, and I see it a lot in women in perimenopause that they suddenly realize that they've been doing everything for everyone, and they've not really given created space for themselves. And actually, you know, if I can give people permission to have time to themselves and to create that little bit of space for themselves, then please take this as my permission to, to
Mm,
let people do that without guilt, without any negativity towards themselves, just take time to breathe.
just do it. We need it. That is for sure. Emily, where can the listeners find you? Where can they connect with you online?
Perimenopause Hub.com is the website. And on Facebook, the big group is called Perimenopause Hub, expert advice and peer support. But if you just type Perimenopause Hub into Facebook, you will find us.
Perfect.
And Perimenopause Hub on Insta as well.
Yeah, everywhere. Love it. Emily, pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Zach.
Absolutely. And that will wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go and connect with Emily and the Perimenopause Hub on all their social media, Facebook and Instagram. Check out the website as well. Tons of goodies on there. All those links will be in the show notes and description down below. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business, and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.